Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, accompanied by the Attorney General.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining us today. I'd like to thank President Trump for hosting this ceremony, and let me say that it's an honor to serve under a president who is so strongly a supporter of law enforcement and has the back of police officers and first responders. Thank you, Mr. President. We've come together to recognize the extraordinary actions of 11 fellow citizens. The President has chosen to honor 5 civilians from Texas who displayed an extraordinary degree of care for their fellow man, putting their own lives at risk. We also honor 6 police officers from Ohio who put themselves between a gunman and a crowd of innocent civilians. For the people out in Dayton that night, these officers were the thin blue line between life and death. The actions of these 6 officers show that while that line may be thin, it is very strong. Established in 2001, the Medal of Valor is our nation's highest public safety award. Officers across the nation are nominated by their peers, but only a handful are selected to receive this honor. Traditionally, this process occurs only once a year. However, the law permits the Attorney General to expand the total number of recipients when exceptional instances of bravery arise. And so that's what we did this year. In my eyes and in the eyes of our nation, this special recognition is warranted. Valor is a word we don't commonly hear. People can show courage and bravery confronting many different challenges in life, but valor connotes a willing putting oneself in mortal danger to protect others. We humans have a powerful instinct to flee from peril. It takes a special kind of courage, a deep sense of duty, and extraordinary character to overcome these impulses, and for the sake of others, to run toward the danger. And we thank God that on that horrible night in Dayton, we had men of these qualities. As we honor the valor of these men, we must recognize that we cannot take them and their brothers and sisters in law enforcement for granted. Serving as a police officer is the toughest job in our country, and as they put themselves on the line to keep us safe, they deserve our gratitude and support. We are grateful not just for the courage of these officers, but also of their families. And we salute those families here today. You encounter long days and restless nights. Still, you endure them for all of us. Our very ability to live normal lives, to go to school, to go to work, and to pursue our aspirations without fear is only because of your sacrifice. The brave actions of today's honorees from Dayton and from El Paso should awaken in all of us a new dedication to service and selflessness on behalf of our communities. So God bless our heroes and their families, and thank you, Mr. President, for the opportunity to express our appreciation today.
Well, I want to thank the Attorney General for not only this today, but for doing an incredible job. Thank you very much, Bill. Appreciate it. Today, I'm honored to welcome you to the White House as we recognize 11 extraordinary American heroes. These incredible patriots responded to the worst violence and most barbaric hatred with the best of American courage, character, and strength. Faced with grave and harrowing threats, the men and women standing behind us stepped forward to save the lives of their fellow Americans. Few people could have done, and even would have done, what they did. In a few moments, I will award 6 police officers from Dayton, Ohio, with our nation's highest public safety award, the Medal of Valor. I will also honor 5 Americans from El Paso, Texas, with certificates of commendation, recognizing these civilians who displayed tremendous bravery. The light from these intrepid souls defied the darkness and confronted the most sinister danger. Would you all please join me in expressing our deepest gratitude and highest admiration to these unbelievably exceptional Americans. Thank you. We're also joined by Senator John Cornyn and several members of my cabinet, and I want to thank you all for being here. John, thank you very much. Most importantly, to the families of our heroes, you understand better than anyone the difference your loved ones have made in the lives of so many Americans. We treasure you, and we really do thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Again, thank you very much. Great job. 1 month ago, America witnessed horror beyond belief. On Saturday, August 3rd, at a Walmart in El Paso, Texas, the soulless and bigoted monster killed 22 innocent people and wounded 27 others. Happened very quickly. It was a racist attack motivated by pure evil hatred. The next day in Dayton, Ohio, a vile and wicked murderer stole 9 lives and injured 34 others. Our nation is shocked and enraged by these inhuman and sadistic acts of bloodshed. We fail to comprehend how any person could be so warped by malice and contempt. Every heart breaks for the families who lost precious loved ones, and every American grieves for those who were so cruelly taken from us. In the midst of such profound anguish, one memory fills us with hope. When evil showed its hideous face, Americans of all walks of life rose up, and they did. They rose up. They defied fear. They stared down death to protect the innocent, and stand tall they did, just for righteous and for good. Several days after the shootings, the First Lady and I visited both cities. We met with first responders, hospital staff, survivors, and families. We will never forget the unity and love we saw in those communities and at those hospitals. It was incredible. In Ohio, I had the privilege of meeting the 6 Dayton police officers who, without a moment's hesitation, immediately and courageously engaged the gunman, ending his attack and rescuing countless lives. Who knew and who can even understand how many lives would have been taken if they didn't act so quickly? Just after 1 a.m. on August 4th, these officers were patrolling the streets of downtown Dayton when the killer opened fire into an innocent crowd. The shooter continued firing as he ran down a sidewalk packed with people. Sergeant William Knight was stationed in his cruiser about 150 feet away. He heard the gunfire, jumped out of his car, and quickly returned fire. Meanwhile, Officer Brian Rolfus ran directly towards the shooter and into the onslaught of incoming bullets. Then officers Jeremy Campbell, Vincent Carter, Ryan Nabel, and David Denlinger moved in, engaging the shooter at close range, calling upon years of training in the span of an instant. Millions of Americans saw the video footage of these officers calmly charging forward in the midst of chaos and constant fire. Without a thought for their own safety, they stood square to the target, executed their mission, and brought down the murderers with precision gunfire. It was just before that maniac was ready to enter a very crowded restaurant and bar. Within 32 seconds of the start of the attack, these 6 officers ended the violent rampage and saved countless lives. Today, it is my immense honor to award the Medal of Valor to those law enforcement heroes, Sergeant William Knight and Officers Brian Rolfus, Jeremy Campbell, Vincent Carter, Ryan Nabel, and David Denlinger. To each of you, we are in awe of your swift response, sterling professionalism, and rock-solid nerves of steel. On behalf of our entire nation, we thank you for your remarkable and heroic actions in the line of duty. And we just want to thank you so much. What a great job you've done. Thank you very much. Please. Today, we are also honoring 5 Americans who risked their lives to save others during the brutal attack at the Walmart in El Paso, Texas. Walmart store manager Robert Evans was outside the store entrance when he heard the gunman fire his first shot. Robert instantly alerted employees of the active shooter. He saw the killer heading towards the store, so he raced inside and directed customers toward the nearest emergency exits, helping hundreds escape to safety. Incredible. Robert, you exemplify noble leadership and selfless service. Thank you very much, Robert. Great. Thank you, Robert. Walmart employee Gilbert Cerna heard Robert's alert over the radio and immediately, without hesitation, guided dozens of shoppers to refuge through a rear exit, boosting some people over a 12-foot wall and hiding others in shipping containers. So smart to think of that. Who would think of that under these circumstances? A lot of people would just run for their lives. He cleared out the back area of the store a minute before the shooter got there. Gilbert, your unwavering resolve inspires us all. Thank you very much, Gilbert. Great job. Thank you. Maricela Luna was managing the McDonald's inside the Walmart when the murderer burst into the entrance. She quickly gathered customers from the lobby and led them to refrigerators and other hiding places, shielding them from the shooter's line of sight. Thank you, Maricela, for racing to rescue others from grave danger. Thank you very much. Thank you, Maricela. Thank you. McDonald's supervisor, Angelica Silva, was working at another location when she got word of the active shooting. She drove straight to the scene to check on her employees. Upon arriving, Angelica saw 2 people in the parking lot who were very, very badly wounded. She alerted first responders and helped save the life of one of those severely injured victims. Angelica, we thank God you were there. Thank you very much. Thank you. Chris Grant was picking out snacks for his kids when he suddenly saw the murderer firing at innocent shoppers a few aisles away from him. Chris grabbed, listen to this, soda bottles and anything else in front of him and began hurling them at the gunman, distracting him from the other shoppers and causing the shooter to turn toward Chris and fire at Chris, whereby Chris suffered 2 very serious gunshot wounds, but he is recovering well, and we wish him the best. His family is here. So please thank Chris for us. Please. Think of that. In the darkest moments of danger and despair, God calls the bravest to action. These 11 individuals answered the call. They stared down evil. They put love of neighbor above life itself. And we are blessed by their courage. We are honored by their presence. We are overwhelmed by their example. And we are forever inspired by the goodness of their hearts, the grace of their souls, and the enduring greatness of their deeds. To every one of the heroes we recognize today, thank you, and God bless you all. Thank you very much. Incredible. Now I would like to ask the military aide to come forward and read the citations, please.
The Medal of Valor is presented to the following individuals for their bravery and composure in the face of an armed assailant intent on the murder of innocent civilians in Dayton, Ohio on August 4, 2019. Their quick and decisive actions in the face of extreme danger neutralized the gunman within seconds, protecting the lives of hundreds of people. Sergeant William Knight. Officer Brian Rolfus. Officer Jeremy Campbell. Officer Vincent Carter. Officer Ryan Nabel. Officer David Denlinger. Will the Medal of Valor recipients please take your seats, and the Certificate of Commendation recipients please join the President on stage.